I'm Laura from Garden Sanity, and today I'm trimming off the flower heads on my Limelight Hydrangea tree. As you can see, these lower branches are drooping down, and what I want to do is I want to make them go back up. If you watch part 1 and part 2 of this little mini series, that'll help you understand exactly what happens and why this happens. Part 1 shows you why it happens from the rain. I show you exactly how much rain can come out of one of these. Part 2 shows you how I normally trim these. And I say normally because today I'm going to do something even quicker. Today it's only 7 a.m. and it's about 90 some degrees out, and the humidity has to be at least 800 something percent. I don't even know the exact percent. As you can hear, I'm having trouble talking, and I'm talking kind of faster because I want to get in and get out. When it's this hot, you don't want to fuss around. You want to get in and get out and confine your gardening to about 10-minute spurts at the most, and then you want to go inside and cool off. So that's what I aim to do. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you how I'm going to trim these today. And then I'm going to set the tripod up so that you can see the overall tree from a distance as I'm pruning it, so you can see how the tree looks more spread out and then how it's going to be a little bit better shaped, hopefully, after I'm done pruning. So let's get started. So you can see how you have these blooms that are lower at the bottom here. And those are the ones that I'm going to be trimming off. Those blooms need to come up. We're going to be getting a rainstorm, hopefully, in a couple of days, and that would really pull these branches down way too far. So normally what I would do is I would take, for example, let's just look at this branch. I would take it and I would trim back a little ways, like maybe to here. What I'm doing today, because it's this hot out, is I am just going to go back to the first set of leaves after the flower. So I'm going to go back to here, trim it off. Let me zoom in here so you can see that better. I'm holding the camera with one hand. So I'm going to come in here. You've got the bloom, you've got a set of leaves, and then the next set of leaves I'm just going to trim right above that. And then that way I'm just trimming the flowers off. I can dump them in the garbage bag real quick, make it as painless for me because these blooms are gorgeous, but I'm not going to even bother bringing them inside. I just want to fix the tree up. So let me set the tripod up and we'll get started. That didn't take long at all. In some cases, I did take a little bit more off of the branches when I thought they were still going to be really drooping. There was only one. There was kind of an upside down one you might have seen in here that looked like it was hanging or growing straight down. It was just hanging. It had broken off, but it was a smaller one, which was surprising. But these all look good now. Let me step back so you can see. Now, there is a little gap. And you see, right here, and then you have a little bit of a gap. These are leaning a little bit, but they're not too bad, so I'm going to leave them. They don't look like they're in danger of anything bad happening in a storm. But I took off all the lower ones, as you see over here. And here you see some of the cuts I made. And in fact, this stem right here was the stem that was leaning almost all the way down into these hydrangeas. So look how far it came up, and I had to make a few cuts on it, as you can see. So it works. Oh, and by the way, let's just appreciate the really pretty and getting almost too tall for me. Look at this. I am reaching so high up. This one's got to be about 6 feet. Very happy about that. So anyway, let me show you the back. Now, while I tell you every year how I get happier and happier that I'm getting more growth on the back, I did cut some of these off because they were drooping a little bit. And this is where we had the problem during the tropical storm a couple of years ago, which I mentioned in another video that I'll link above and put in the description box below. I actually have a whole Limelight Hydrangea Tree playlist, so you can see sort of the history of this tree from when we first planted it, what the tropical storm damage was like, which was horrific, how I had to basically start over. And here's the tree from the other side back. I know I've said this before, trees don't have sides. I'll tell you what the hardest part of doing this is, besides the fact that you're losing so many pretty blooms, and no, I don't have time to put them in a vase. I just want to get in and get out. But the hardest part is the bees, because you're sort of interrupting their breakfast, and you know, that always bothers me. I love my bees. So yeah, this looks nice. It's more of a more upright, I wouldn't say a vase shape, but a nice rounded shape now on the bottom. And then you go up, and the blooms at the top are finally almost fully open. In a previous video of my backyard garden, which I'll link to above and below, I showed you how the top blossoms weren't yet fully open, but these are, which is nice. And here's what it looks like all done. It'll be safe from the storms, hopefully. We'll see how it does. And I know, it's so sad, but it is what it is. As I said to a fellow gardener who commented about having to take off a huge garbage bag full on her own tree, I think it was a strawberry hydrangea, I said to her, this is kind of a necessary evil, and it almost seems like it might be a once per summer event to take these off, just to be on the safe side. The goal is you don't want to lose any branches breaking off. So here's what the tree looks like from a distance, and as you can see, it is a lot more manageable. Nothing drooping down, which is great. And now it's time to go in and cool off. Until next time, happy gardening.